Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the commodities update video. This is where we update you guys on natural gas, gold, and silver, as well as the US dollar. And if you guys are waiting for the stock market update video, I'll be doing that right after this one. And we'll be going over QQQ, S&P 500, as well as Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta on that video. And before we get started, let's take a look at natural gas first. So yesterday I talked about where we pretty much hit our last resistance target, 2.86, pretty much the one that we have to get over. Otherwise, we'll have a slight rejection from it if we don't get over it. So the last boss, pretty much. And we zoom into the hourly charts. You can see we tried yesterday for 4 times here in the hourly chart, so that's about 4 hours. And we were still in striking distance when we closed. But today, once we gapped down, we were away from it already. And essentially, this is looking like a hourly / 4 hour head and shoulders look. Let's go to 4 hours to see it more clear. Yeah, very similar. 1 hour and 4 hour head and shoulders, pretty much a uptrend into a downtrend if it confirms. So we need, if the bears can break this hourly low at 2.693, that's a confirmed hourly downtrend, as well as a break of the line of this head and shoulders. So that'll be confirmed head and shoulders if we do break this low. As of now, bulls are still holding slightly sideways after this drop. So bulls need to play defense here at this 2.69 level and see if they can hold it or not. If they can hold that, then they negate the head and shoulders, as well as bounce back to potentially retest 2.86 if we do break above 2.8. Same thing with the 4 hour. That happens. We come from a 4 hour downtrend as well. So we definitely want the bulls to be playing defense, and that's 2.69. And for your bears, of course, you guys want to break through that and go below. But as of now, daily uptrend is still intact because this is the pivot being set right there, and that's the move. And now we have pulled back. We're still above the prior pivot, so daily uptrend is still intact. But if we make another move leg down, all the way down here, then there's going to be enough room for bears to potentially shape up that downtrend once it bounces. And as of now, they need to take it a little bit more than today's drop. So we'll see if tomorrow either we bounce from here, this 2.69, negate the head and shoulders, and retest 2.8, or just take it lower and potentially start to increase that momentum, just like this one here. Lower, they have a lot of room, even on the bounce, to confirm a daily downtrend by breaking the prior low after the bounce. If that starts to shape up, then we're probably looking back down at this bottom, looking maroon support again. As of now, that'll still take about 2 to 3 days of downside and a bounce and going lower. So that would take about 4 to 5 trading days to form. So it'll probably take us into next week. So as of now, we don't have enough information to confirm that because daily uptrend is still intact. So we may still bounce from here, but we'll see about that. If we do bounce from here, 2.8 is where I'm looking at for the first resistance. UNG, similar to the tradable ticker for Natgas. So similar to Natgas, pretty much we rejected from the key resistance, this downtrending marine looking line, and Natgas dropped. So UNG also dropped pretty much right into its next resistance, support, 2.79. Exactly. Didn't really hold it that well, even though we pretty much closed at low of the day. Even though we did slightly bounce, but we still pretty much closed at the low of the day. So on the verge of breaking it pretty much. But let's zoom into the 4 hour for more clarity here. 4 hour looks like it's tightening up into a tiny range here. Let's take a look. Big move up, big move down, smaller move, it gets tighter. So if we do bounce from here, we potentially shape up an equilibrium. And we need the net gas to bounce tomorrow as well for this to happen. Otherwise, this is just going to go back down to 6.63 zone to the bottom of this zone if we do break below that. The 4-hour equilibrium may be our guide. We'll see if the bulls can play defense tomorrow for NetGas and UNG at 6.8 level here. It's going to be pretty key. Because if you zoom out to the daily chart, we do break below that. This is pretty much the center of the structure. Top structure, low of the structure. So we do break below. We're probably going to come down to the 6.62 level. And no bulls want to see us test this bottom of this rising wedge, falling wedge again. You can see we have tested here 4 times. So yeah, nobody wants to see it unless you're a bear. But then it'd be a good place to take profits if you're a bear. So you would have made, let's see, this falling wedge, the bottom falling wedge, 11%. If you play the leverage, you probably made more as well than that. So yeah, good place to take profits. As well as it could potentially be more buying opportunities for you bulls if you don't have a full position yet, but definitely a long-term drawn out sideways from here and here. So we'll see once we get break, see if we get more of a confirmed breakout of that as well. I can see NetGas pretty much top of the range, 2.86, going sideways as well at the bottom of this range, 2.47 for a while. Breakout soon, we'll see. Chances of this time breaking out here is a little bit higher than all of these times because we do have a daily uptrend still intact at the top of the range, close to striking distance. So yeah, we may, or we get another chance for it to test 2.86, but we will see. All right, let's take a look at gold. Not much going on either today. Let's take a look at the dollar first, see what happened. Strong day on the dollar after I had a rate hold today for FOMC meeting. Although he was a little bit more hawkish than what I expected. So hence why the dollar may be a little bit stronger because we potentially may get another rate hike later this year, depending on the data. So essentially the dollar was weak in the morning and then it got strong after the decision came in. So you can see we had weakness into the afternoon as well. Because they are inversely correlated. That I was talking about head and shoulders yesterday, right? Let's see. Is it on this one? It was this or not, I forgot. But this is more pretty clear as well for head and shoulders. See on the 4-hour if it's more clear. 4 hours too. So there's head and shoulders here from an uptrend. Confirmed. And then this would be the head and shoulders pattern if we do bounce tomorrow and then form that downtrend. Pretty much a head and shoulders psychology of it. It's in from hourly. Doesn't mean hourly. Any time frames uptrend into a downtrend. Make that neckline. So Cyprium like one, and we will get a little bit of a pullback on the dollar in the morning, and this will bounce, and the dollar goes higher, and boom, we break below this. See on the daily. Pretty much we tested the resistance very clear. 4 rejections here, and another rejection here. So 1946, this level. Tightening up as well, forming a potentially equilibrium. So we'll see if it tightens up while maybe the dollar tightens up as well, going sideways after such a strong move for many, many weeks. This hourly time frame will be our guide to see if bears can come from hourly downtrend, because if they do, then that's will likely mark the temporary top of this bounce. Now, this is just one big pullback, no hourly downtrend yet. We need a pivot for it to form an hourly downtrend. Will be our guide. Yeah, pretty much dollar is V-shaped into the end of the day after Jerome's speech. And we are testing pretty much high of the day. And sorry, 52 high. Let's see on the daily. No signs of red flags. I've been talking about the dollar as it goes up. It's on a daily uptrend with 0 red flags on all of its pullbacks. Yesterday I talked about where pullback could just be like this one because it didn't break the prior pivot. So as long as it doesn't break prior pivots, it's still in daily uptrend. So this was the pivot set right here. You see initial move up, pullback. So that's the pivot being set. Goes higher than the prior high. So it's the daily uptrend continuing. Makes a new pivot here. Bounce off the 12 EMA at the same time. And then goes higher. So daily uptrend is still intact and continuing. As long as it stays intact, no signs of red flags. And when we zoom into the hourly chart, not a lot of red flags either. It's double top. So as long as holding its prior high pivots and above the 12 EMA, which is a teal looking line, go to the exponential moving average and type 12. See it bounce off of it all the way from the bottom, except this one time here, but we still pretty much V-shaped above it. And the next day, bounce, 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 bounce here another twice. So 12 just means the momentum is pretty strong, and it's still going, trending from that level. So no signs of bears at the moment, but we will know when it comes. Silver. Same thing with gold. All metals are inversely correlated with the dollar. So dollar is strong day, meaning silver is a weak day. So not much to break down compared to yesterday. Let's take a look on the hourly. So we broke above it, then came back below it because the dollar V-shaped at the end of the day. 4-hour chart here. Okay, so the dollar is also in a you can call this already an hourly downtrend here, but there was not much follow through. And we broke above the prior pivot, so it's back to a neutral trend because we broke above here. Simple. I want to see the bears confirm an hourly downtrend again here. You say this is the top of the temporary top of this bounce. And big picture, we are still just tightening up downtrending resistance line. You see how many times we rejected from here, roughly 6 times. Bounce off of here, 1, 2, 3, 4 times as well. So big picture, this is what we'll be looking at. So if you're a bull, you'll likely add closer to the bottom of the range here. And if you're a bear, you'd be adding up here and taking profits on both ways until one of these ways breaks down or breaks above. For that, you'll likely trade within this range. All right, that's all I got for you guys. If you guys learn anything, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And I'll be going over to do the stock market update video now.